Dental implants are the hottest topic in dentistry today. Are you worried about the amount of student loans you have? Do you feel underpaid and overworked? The answer is in dental implants. And guys, let me tell you, it has changed my practice forever. My salary has tremendously gone up, and most importantly, I'm able to be a better dentist for my patients in need of a missing tooth replacement. I know when I was in dental school, I wanted to know how to place implants without having to do a residency. Fast forward a few years later, and I've managed to do exactly that. So today, let's talk about how you can start placing dental implants today. And stay till the end of the video where I will talk about CE courses and what I think will help you get to becoming a qualified implantologist as fast as possible. The single most important thing you can do today to get into dental implants is to master tooth extractions. It's the foundational skill that lays the groundwork for surgical implant placement. You should be able to take out any tooth that comes into your office. Try learning how to extract really bombed out molar. If you can't take teeth out, you can't replace them. I can only tell you that after thousands of dental extractions, how much better I've gotten and how much more comfortable I've gotten with surgery by mastering the basics of oral surgery. It has all made a tremendous impact on my growth as an implant dentist. I think basic implant surgery in itself isn't overly complex, but without prior experience in procedures like flaps and bone sectioning, it can feel overwhelming. Being comfortable with surgery, seeing a full mouth of blood, learning how to extract with conservative bone removal, flapping the gums out of the way to get better visibility to reduce bleeding during surgery, all of these things matter. Therefore, pushing boundaries with extractions is the initial step towards mastering oral surgery. While implant placement may not be as daunting as it seems, lacking confidence in surgical procedures can pose significant challenges. Push your limits by tackling complex cases and seek mentorship to ensure you're prepared for any situation that may arise. Step 2. The next thing I would do would be to consume knowledge, and this doesn't have to cost anything. Everything is already out in the universe. There aren't really many new studies that are going to come out that are going to change the way you're going to place dental implants. Everything since the days of Carl Misch and Brandon Mark are for the most part true today. Yeah, we got some fancy new gadgets and there's ways to increase success rates. So definitely read the textbooks and watch some CE dental videos online. I got a bunch of useful Google Drive links that I've paid for that I can send to you too. And I know they've helped me tremendously and they'll be able to help you too. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and I'm more than happy to share some of those resources. Just like dental school, huh? All over again, you know? So I would start by consuming videos, watching a ton of YouTube videos, really start to learn the process. Immerse yourself in the surgical aspect of dentistry. Start to shadow surgeons to complement your didactic research. Really start to envision yourself doing this. Kobe Bryant always said when he would practice free throws, he would envision the ball going in the hoop before every shot. And you really have to start developing this muscle memory that you know you can do this. You're able to do anything you set your mind to. If you put the time in to get better with surgery, everything will be okay in the future. And soon, you will create a sense of confidence through repetition and you'll be able to start doing easy cases early on. Just think about the extractions and fillings in dental school that would seem overwhelming to you. Now, it's a piece of cake. Everything in dentistry is in the same regards to being able to do the easy cases first. Be willing to try. If you're not willing to try, then this isn't the specialty to start jumping into. And in the future, I'll be releasing more implant surgery videos. So if you want to see some of those, please tell me in the comments below. I'm really trying to keep dental education as cheap as possible for anybody wanting to learn. And if you follow my content, you know my stance on the ridiculous tuition rates schools are charging us nowadays. So for the time being, I can use this platform for free dental education where dentists can collaborate and learn together. Now on the topic of continuing education, everybody always asks me what CE course I took and how useful was it to me when they see the types of implant surgeries I do. Reflecting on my own experience, I once invested a large sum of money, upwards of $15,000 in a course. It didn't hold much value to me at the time because I wasn't placing implants daily in my practice. So if you're gonna take a course, definitely have cases ready to apply what you learned that weekend immediately following the course so you don't lose the confidence and lose that knowledge. In hindsight, I realized that most of the information could have been acquired through available resources like the Carl Misch textbook. I feel many CE courses today merely repackage existing information found in textbooks and research articles. And and end up charging a premium for it. While I acknowledge the importance of quality continuing education, I also recognize the prevalence of profit-driven motives in the industry. Do I think all CE courses are worth it, especially in regards to implants? So when it comes to continuing education as a dentist, I have a bunch of mixed feelings about this. Partly because, well, let's be real, some of the courses cost an arm and a leg, especially for someone fresh out of school and in debt. $15,000 seems like a fortune. All we want to do is learn. But here's the kicker. Once you graduate, it's not just dental schools trying to snag your cash. Now it's other dentists coming for your money in the form of education. Sure, don't get me wrong. There are good courses out there, but there are also courses that'll drain your bank account. Don't get me wrong, some of the pricey courses can be totally worth it, and some of the greatest dentists in the world have an extensive track record of CE courses taken. And think about it, if you can learn a skill that'll keep you in business for the next 30 years, dropping a few $1,000s might just be a no-brainer. But you've gotta be smart about it. Not all courses are created equal. Some are all theory and bookwork, which is great and all, but last time I checked, you're not pulling out a textbook mid-surgery. The implant course I took was heavy on theory, but light on hands-on experience. I placed 2 implants under supervision with a surgical guide. At that point, I was just drilling a screw into a pre-made hole in the guide, and I felt like I wasn't learning much. And then there are those courses where you fly off to an exotic location like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, and they promise you that you'll come back a master of dental implants, upwards of 30 implants in just a few days. Sounds too good to be true, right? Sure, you might leave feeling super confident, but what about the patients? Sometimes they're left with a mouthful of screws, and who knows if those implants will ever hold up in the long run. If you place all those dental implants, but you never see the patient again to see if your implants are successful, is it really the right way to learn? I've heard horror stories of patients with 25 dental implants in their mouth, just because the dentists there were trying to hit the 30 implant quota. But I'm sure it would be great to get a feel for how to place implants and being able to develop that muscle memory on the surgical side of things. And I haven't taken a course like this, so if you have, I'm curious to hear your opinions on if you liked it and if you feel like it made you a better implant dentist in the comments below. And guys, I've heard absolutely amazing reviews about a handful of courses that strike the perfect balance between theory and practice. I have friends who have taken them and now only do big implant cases all day. Their daily production has skyrocketed, and they feel much more comfortable placing implants after the course. I'll drop the links to those courses in the description below for anyone who's interested. Now, I wanted to talk about surgical guides. I see a big trend with the use of surgical guides and how dentists using them. Now, since I see a big trend with the use of surgical guides, I wanted to speak about them briefly here. While surgical guides serve a purpose in situations with tricky cases with limited bone availability, over-reliance on them can become a problem. My concern lies in the tendency of dentists to lean heavily on surgical guides without gaining ample experience through freehand placement. Although surgical guides can yield near perfect results when they work, there are numerous factors that can lead to inaccuracy. Errors in scanning, patient movement during CBCT scan, or even the third-party involvement in planning the case can compromise the precision of the guide. There's times where the guide can be inaccurate, and if you're not able to take that guide off and realize the mistakes, then you're setting yourself and your patient up for a catastrophic event. I'm also in the learning phase too, so the guide also creates problems in regards to hiding your insufficiency. I remember when I was using some guides and at times my angles would be completely different, where I thought I had to put the implant. But in real life dentistry, for me, I had to perf that buccal plate, only to realize never to angle an implant in that direction again. Obviously, I grafted the site after, but it was a learning experience that I will carry forever. With the guide, it's kind of like you're riding a bicycle. When you're on training wheels, you never really learn how to ride the bike. You fall off a couple times, and then you start to realize. So it's important to tread carefully, but also in a controlled setting. I know specialists who only use guides nowadays because they believe it's more predictable. I agree that being able to plan a case online before the case even starts, putting that implant perfectly where you want it to go with the use of the surgical guide is ideal. But the specialists all have the ability to change plans if the guide doesn't work, and they're able to flap the case open and handle the case freehand. What happens if you're doing the surgery and then right in the middle of everything, the guide doesn't fit right? You're not just gonna send the patient home and then reschedule for another time because the guide isn't working. Consider this. Would you prefer your implant surgeon to rely solely on guides? Or would you trust someone with the expertise to handle unforeseen complications if they ever arise? While guides can be helpful tools, they should complement, not replace a dentist's ability to perform procedures freehand. While guides have become more accurate, relying solely on them possesses a significant problem in the field of implant dentistry today. All right, so you've heard my thoughts on CE and surgical guides. How do you start placing dental implants now? In my opinion, the true and tested best way to get into implants now is to find a mentor. The guidance and support of an experienced mentor can make all the difference in your development. It's what everybody preaches to a new grad. Mentorship this, take this job, we'll mentor you. We have CEs, they're all about mentorship. You can start with the easy, slam dunk cases. And I think one-on-one mentorship is the best option for a new grad, fresh out of school, to be placing implants. Somebody who's a year out, 2 years out, whose surgical skills are developed, who's more comfortable with doing more than just fillings and crowns. Take time to think about a system that you can create to do a few implants with a mentor. Do a few of them guided, maybe some of them flapless. Very far away from vital structures, ton of bone. You can just perfectly place those implants into those sites. Copious amounts of bone, far away from vital structures where you can't miss. And that, I think, best way to learn. You really only learn dentistry by doing. There's only so much you can read. There's only so much CE courses you can take. And truth be told, most pay for the CE course just to get that one-on-one mentorship. I paid $15,000 and placed 2 implants guided, which was essentially useless. And that upset me because once I found a mentor, I did 50 implants with my mentor. Flapless, flapped, over-the-shoulder supervision in just a month or 2. And I was getting paid for that. So just understand that if you're a dental student or a fresh grad, everybody's coming for your money. Everybody will sell you a dream. They're going to sell you this amazing course. Take the courses if you want. If you feel the need for extra education, take it. I'm not anti-CE because some are extremely valuable, but not all of them. And they prey on young dentists. Dentists eat their young. This is a common phrase that has been echoed for decades. Just be careful. If you're going to take a course, take one with hands-on experience. Take one with mentors that will watch you and guide you one-on-one. If you're going the personal mentor route, find implant patients who are a close relative or acquaintance. Offer to do the work for free, and you'll get plenty of people lining up for your help. I think the value of hands-on personalized guidance far outweighs the cost of any course or certification. And as a dental student or recent grad, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the multitude of courses and educational opportunities out there. Many promise quick results or guarantee a certain number of implants placed, but they often lack depth of instruction and follow-up necessary for long-term success. Courses held in locations like the DR in Puerto Rico may sound appealing, but they often prioritize quantity over quality. The lack of follow-up means that any complications or failures may go unnoticed, leaving the participating doctors ill-prepared to handle the real-world scenario. Anybody trying to learn dental implants. I've been burned before, I've done a lot of implants, I'm getting the education, but this is just my personal opinion for anybody trying to get a dental implant. But I know this is a controversial topic and I'm eager to hear your thoughts on continuing education and dental implant placement. If you're contemplating a career in implant dentistry, tell me where you are in your journey. I'm curious to know. What information have you gathered about implants? And what draws you towards implantology? One thing's for certain, it's undeniable that implants represent the future of dentistry. Like many of you, I'm continuously learning and striving to improve as well. I've encountered my fair share of setbacks and mistakes along the way. Each one of them has been a valuable learning experience for me. Always on the lookout for new solutions and insights that enhance my own skills. And I welcome input and or assistance if you have any to offer me. If you have questions or would like to connect further, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram. And if you find value in this content, please show your support by smashing that like button. Take care, I'll see y'all in the next one.